not only to win, but to be able to form a large coalition. And the question this time was, which was a serious question, what country Israel is going to be? An ethnocracy, enshrine further apartheid, or it's going to be open-minded. So basically Gantz, who campaigned also like the others to keep the occupation, whatever, but he was a little bit more open towards citizens of Israel. He won the same seats more or less than Bibi, actually one more seat.
Right.
And but he couldn't form a coalition because the extreme far right would rather have a corrupt leader like Bibi Netanyahu, he and his wife, who basically you can bribe them with champagne. She loved to drink champagne at 8 o'clock in the morning and beat up her help because she loved to throw shoes at them, worse than Naomi Campbell.
Right.
And basically they decided that this is their guy, the racist, thuggish guy that you can bribe with anything, even with cheap champagne, rather than Gantz, who, yes, with all of his limits, he's willing to open up basically to Arabs. And the great thing was that the Arab vote went from 50% to 65%. So Arabs got turnout, they got 13 seats. So they're a huge bloc, more than Lieberman. Lieberman got only 6 seats.
Wow.
But what he said, Lieberman said, these are the enemy. There's not our allies. They are the enemy. And he galvanized the far right. And now, for the first time, we saw a national Palestinian Israeli leader like Ayman Aoudeh, who wrote a beautiful piece for the New York Times saying, we endorse Gantz because Netanyahu era should end. So the president looked at the facts and he saw that nobody wants the Arabs. Nobody wants in the coalition government the Arabs. So he decided, okay, let me give the first shot to Bibi, who actually is capable maybe to go with a Kahanist, with a terrorist, with a far right, with the most extremist and form the next government. Except there's one caveat. The president, and he added this tonight, and he said, except if he's indicted. If he's indicted, all the power shift to Gantz.
And then 2 weeks from now, we're going to have
2 weeks from now,
going to have a decision.
We will see if he's indicted. But if he's prime minister, he will do whatever it takes not to be indicted, by the way.
Right. But if he's, what do you think the chances are, the prospects are that he's actually going to be indicted in 2 weeks?
Very serious. Very serious. Very serious.
They recommended indictment
They
months
recommended
ago.
indictment for him and the wife, but the wife managed to cut a deal and pay some money. I mean, there's one of the scandals that is horrifying is how he is on a phone call one of these billionaires and said, wait, by the way, you send my wife this gift, but it's not the whole set. I don't want only a watch. I want the whole set. I want the jewelry. Right. I mean, it's like as if he is an average thug trying to bribe somebody. And he said, by the way, we want you to soften your coverage of how you depict us in the media, me and my wife. And the picture of my wife, she looks ugly in the picture. She's better looking. I mean, this is the kind of leader we have in Israel. This is the kind of man. But he went so far this time during the election campaign where he actually incited publicly against his political opponent, whether Arabs and Jews. He called them almost terrorists. These people who want to have a coalition with Arabs, who are citizens of Israel, he called them openly terrorists. But tonight, something else in Israel happened. The Oscars of Israel. You know who won?
Who?
A producer called Ruti Katz. She made a movie about the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin and the man that incited against Yitzhak Rabin until he was killed, and that is Bibi Netanyahu.
Really?
Tonight, the Israeli Oscar went to that woman who depicted the whole period of time where the assassination of Israel of the peaceful prime minister point the finger directly to Bibi Netanyahu incitement and hate campaign.
I wonder what would have happened before the election if it would have meant anything. So right now, he's going to have 6 weeks. How many?
6 weeks
if he doesn't
to
get
form
indicted,
a government.
In
2 weeks, if he's indicted, he's out. I hope Netanyahu era is over.
Right.
And I really pray that the country shift in a different direction. Look, Gantz is not perfect. Gantz is nobody perfect in that environment. But at least he's a clean politician. He's not corrupt and he's not openly
but
even anything, even his own wife, he's willing to give.
In the West Bank and Gaza, any difference?
No. And until we have Trump in the White House, power, they have no incentive to do whatsoever the right thing. Except one thing is happening. The regional power is shifting. Iran is becoming a major regional power. whether they want it or not, and they're threatened by that. The Saudis understood after the last attack to the oil facilities that they are shaken. All the weapons they buy, it can be gone in 1 second because they don't know how to use them. They don't know how
Is
to
that
defend
what happened?
themselves.
Because they had all these batteries of Patriot missiles and stuff from the U.S. They've spent billions on.
What Iran did is actually incredible because they send a message to the Saudis: we can take you out in 1 week. This is a real country of 80 million people with a Quds force, with a real army, with a real proxies that are willing to take on the Saudis. The Saudis really, their whole regime is basically because of the protection the United States exists. If that is gone, Saudi Arabia is gone in 1 week. Or taking all kind of, the rumors that he takes all kind of drugs and he's not well, that guy. So this is the kind of reality we're living in. The Iranians knew where to hit them, directly where to hit them. And this is the second time they hit them in their oil facility. If that starts becoming a pattern, Saudi Arabia will capitulate if America doesn't defend them. Otherwise, we're with Trump in the White House, we might go to war with Iran directly and indirectly on behalf of MBS, a guy that butchered journalists.
So at the UN this week, is there much conversation about Iran and trying to solve that situation there?
Yes, but again, Dean, the real conversation there, I think President Macron told Rouhani, you should try and meet with Trump. And Rouhani looked at him and smiled. He said, we're open to meet with whoever. I think Rouhani, but with no preconditions, and lift the sanctions. Somebody from the leader said lifting the sanction is not feasible, it's not probable. And in the end, the Iranians are suffering economically and people are dying because of these sanctions. So they're desperate enough. They're willing to do whatever it takes. And they know that if they have sanctions, they know it's because of the Emiratis, the Saudis, and the Israelis. They will start to hit them. And I think this is a threat to Israel. In the long term, they need to create a condition in the Middle East where they either live together or they kill each other.
And there was a time when the Palestinians were talked about at the UN.
Nothing.
Means
Zero.
nothing now.
Zero. Not even bilateral meeting. No Palestinians, no Syrian, no refugee cause. Nothing. It was sad to see actually where this is not even an issue. It's
not to the Arab world
the,
either anymore. They don't care about the Palestinians anymore.
Actually, the Saudis campaigned for Bibi Netanyahu. They lobbied for him to win the elections. I have videos of some Saudi guy, major journalist, who went to Palestine, and he went to the Aqsa Mosque, and people kicked him out of that. And he was in Hebrew saying, we need Bibi to win. And the Saudis are the same. They want Bibi to win, and they want Trump to win. And they will back their campaign, whatever it takes.
So the illusion that they were going to stand up for the Palestinians is long gone. And that was the game.
Yeah, all the
time.
mosques are dropped now.
So we have about like a minute and a half left. What are you working on next, my friend? What are you doing now?
So basically, I will continue my work about the gender equality and continue, obviously, helping the climate change activists. I'm going to Miami to teach my course, to start my course. And my course is called Propaganda, Persuasion, and Genocide, which is what's next.
University of Miami, right?
University of Miami. If you don't stop the propaganda machine, it leads to genocide. And the propaganda machine can destroy countries, can destroy nations. And this is what's happening. If you watch Fox News, this is a state-owned television networks. If you watch online, Facebook is the biggest enablers of radicals around the world. And we need to be careful where we're heading.
Rula, my friend, thank you. I'm so sorry you had so much traffic, even though we got to talk for the full hour.
I'm so happy to see you.
Only like 20 minutes here in studio.
Thank
Folks,
you.
we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more of the Dean Obeidallah Show right after this.